A Minecraft movie, a sequel done too soon. What do I mean exactly by a sequel done too soon? This movie feels like it should have been the second one after we had the better first movie where it focused strictly on Steve. Let's talk about the film. The film struggles with three main areas. It doesn't connect well, in my opinion. The characters are hard to engage with, and I think that this would have been better in an animated format. So, the storyline itself, you have at the end of the day, this story is about talent, accepting your talents and your desires, your passions, and making them reality. But putting up safeguards or warnings for you. You see, with Steve, the issue with him is that he had this passion, his talent to go mining, but he put it to the side because it wasn't safe. He went to go become a salesperson.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability.
Then we have Garrett, who became the guardsman of the video game back in his heyday. He was really good at it, but he stayed stuck in it. He was just zeroed in on that being his glory day. He had this video game store that's absolutely failing. It's about to be foreclosed on. He's going to get evicted out. He's just broke. He's at the end of his rope here. And then we have the Pig Queen, who did accept her talent, who did try to follow it, but it was in another world where people just completely rejected her, so much to the point that she rejected her own talent and instead became an enemy of all passions and desires for art. If you're a sculptor or a painter, good luck. She's probably going to be gunning for you because that's what she did to two of the pigmen in that film. So we have these three examples of what it means to be passionate about something, the dangers about it, and how you should and should not be handling that, which is fine, but I don't think they did a good enough job trying to connect that into the main story to our I think main character here, who is not Jack Black, Steve, but instead is Hugo. Yeah, his name isn't Hugo, it's Henry. Not quite sure where this moron got that from, but yeah, my bad. You're going to see it a couple more times through this video, so sorry about that. Back to the video. Who is a talented engineer, who is creative, going through middle school right now. It just didn't feel like they connected those three elements to him well enough where you could take elements of each one of their stories, learn from it, and overcome it. From Steve, he should have learned that, you know what, you do need to follow your passions at some extent, but from Garrett, he should have learned that don't follow it too far, otherwise you're going to end up in a place you don't want to be, and don't end up like the Pig Queen, where you just listen to everybody around you, and you just collapse like a house of cards. Have a steel beam in your back, stand up for yourself, be straight, and move forward. That should have been the message of this film that I felt like it just lacked. They tried to add it in there, they tried their best, but it just felt like a mess in areas. Also, I have to ask a question. What was really the point on bringing the sister and the realtor into the overworld of Minecraft? Like, I get it. She's his guardian and she's concerned about him, but shouldn't she stay at home, been calling, trying to track him there? But she's able to track him down to a mine pretty quickly, which doesn't make much sense because they're in a mine, like cell phone reception should be lost. But I guess it would go to the last place where your cell phone pinged and would have been right outside of a mine. So, okay, maybe I can understand that. But still, in my opinion, they didn't add really anything to the film when they went into the Minecraft world. When Garrett and Hugh and Steve all entered in, or I guess Steve was already there, but I guess I should say when Hugh and Garrett went in, it just didn't make much sense what value they brought to the Minecraft world, in my personal opinion. Now, I liked seeing them go through. I liked seeing the crafting. I liked seeing the villagers. Personally, I gotta be honest, I was a Minecraft kid back in the day. A couple years after they came out, I really got into it. So I do enjoy the world and the whole atmosphere they're in. I just would have felt like if they would have turned it into more of an animated form, more like maybe 2D or 3D, it would have been better. Just because then you could feel more like you're in the actual Minecraft than what we saw. Now, don't get me wrong, they did a good job of making the monsters cartoonish, the villagers cartoonish. So I'm just would have liked to see it all be in that cartoon format versus mixing the live action with this 3D rendering. Also, at one point, there was a villager that escaped from the overworld that entered our world, and he started going on this date with the school principal, and no one bats an eye at it. No one be like, well, that's weird. What's going on here? Are we being invaded by aliens? Like, the dude can't even talk right to us. Like, what the heck is going on? So, the whole situation is just a weird one for me. Now, that might be my problem personally, but I would have preferred if they would have just done it in a different format. But that's probably more so of an issue with me. Now, formatting, I can take full ownership. Now, that might just be a me problem, so fair enough. But we really need to get into the relationships of this film because they honestly don't make any sense to me at all. For example, Steve and his dog Dennis. One of the core elements of the film is Steve's going to let the whole world get destroyed in order to save Dennis. But at the end of the film, he just gives Dennis away to this real estate lady for what reason exactly? Like, she doesn't have a deep love for Dennis. Dennis didn't show deep loyalty to her. It didn't look like there was a relationship moving on. There's no reason for Steve to give up his dog. As far as we know, if she wants another wolf, she can just go find another wolf in the woods, give it a bone, and it'll love her just as much as Dennis loves Steve. So, exactly what is going on here? I just, the whole thing makes no sense except for just giving a black lady a dog for reasons? I'm sorry, like, it just is weird to me. Now, let's also go on to Hugh and Natalie's relationship. How the heck is she supposed to be the guardian of him? Like, I get that the mom passed away, but where's the dad? Are we just presuming that the dad was a deadbeat and just disappeared after Hugh was born? Or are these kids that were born from separate dads and the mom just slept around and moved around and never told the dads? Like, what exactly do we have going on here? Like, where are the grandparents? Where are the aunts and uncles? Where is like some like government agency like checking in to see how the kids are doing? Because you have literally someone who looks like a 19, 20-year-old trying to raise 12 to 13-year-old. I feel like social services would be checking in on these kids periodically. Like, maybe someone from the government should have been there when they were getting their first house, checking it out, making sure it's up to standards for raising a young kid. I'm just putting ideas out there. Like, it just didn't feel like reality to me when you have like this really young girl trying to raise this really young boy. Like, I get it, you want to keep the family together, but where's everybody else? It just didn't feel organic or real to me. And that's part of the reason why I think that this is a sequel film and not an actual main story film, because you have Steve as a main character, you have Hugh as a main character, and then you have Garrett also having that main character energy. It would have been great if you just would have had Steve as a main character film that we could just focus on, get to know and care for him, versus all these other people that just really didn't bring much to the film. Like, if I can be completely honest, the only people in this film that mattered is Steve and Jason Momoa, Garrett. Like, that's all that matters in here. Everyone else, they're just window dressing. They don't really add much. They, in fact, in the case of the black real estate lady, she just degrades the film. She doesn't add anything really to it, in my personal opinion. Like, what was a great story element? What was a great character arc for her? Nothing. What was a great character arc for her? Natalie? She becomes a self-defense instructor at the end of the film. I don't really get it. They were just add-ons that shouldn't have been in the film all that much, and they caused the film to run for an extra 30 minutes. That's probably the greatest crime of this movie. If you cut this film down to like a solid hour to 50 minutes, probably actually would be a great film. The issue is that you tacked on an extra 40 to 50 minutes to this film that should have just been cut out. At least that's my opinion, because by the time we got to about the 10-minute mark, I was ready to go. My legs were tapping the floor. I was just fidgeting. I was just like, okay, this is going too long. We'll just wrap it up here. It just my personal thoughts on it. But I look forward to hear what you guys got to say down below. Am I completely right that this film feels more like a sequel film than an original film? Do these characters not really fit well within this film and should have just been on Steve? I can't wait to hear what you guys got to say below. Or am I completely off my rocker and that I'm just an old man that should not be talking about a movie that's meant for a younger demographic? I look forward to hear what you guys got to say down there. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all take it now. Bye.